One more time.
Hey, we left you on a good note last night. We argued for about another 30 minutes after that.
Yes, we did.
After that went off.
It went on to many different things, though.
We branched off on all kinds of stuff. We're gonna come back to one though that is a little touchy.
Very.
Not for me though. I mean,
touchy. For some of us.
You're an equal opportunity offender.
Right. You got that right, buddy.
Mike represent Chase Daniels over there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's a true Bears fan.
I wish you was in KC still, but
Trash.
had to let you go.
Is it Missouri or Missouri?
It's misery. Misery.
I think it's misery.
Man, why y'all always,
Especially in the wintertime.
both of y'all living here, still talking crap.
Hey, it's all about the weather.
And we
You
here.
you can get 4 seasons in 1 week.
Well, I tell you what, you can go to Florida and burn up.
Let's go.
I'll go Florida.
Let's
Then
go.
get
Blown away.
I'm on there.
Florida. No, hey, in my Reese voice, no, thank you.
Georgia, Florida line.
Florida
I
sun.
need some sun right
Florida. Florida.
Florida.
I
The
can't hear it.
Floridians.
I like.
All right, Joe, kick it off.
Okay, yeah. So I had this question since I listen to a lot of news. I've been watching all these testimonies before Congress and stuff like that. And the more and more I listen to our politicians, the more and more I have the question of, do you feel politicians are no longer public servants, but they are becoming businessmen?
Bruh,
because once they
silence
get
your phone.
you got your phone on?
I know, dude.
I thought it was off.
But naked.
You gonna fix it?
It's off.
Oh, okay.
Are you done now?
You
Are
done?
you ready to engage into the conversation?
I'm gonna do something more serious.
You watching a video?
Lee.
Oh my gosh.
Why you doing this? This is your fault.
I can't even
Hey,
do that.
I think TJ cut it off.
Okay. Okay, so seriously, do you think
Hold on, Joe.
politicians...
One second.
Oh, you gotta address this.
You can't cut anything on.
Yeah, you can.
Cut it on.
Cut it on.
You can turn it on.
No, you can cut it on. I can get a pair of scissors right now and put those scissors on the light switch and flip it up or flip it down.
You won't
That would be considered
cutting.
That's called cut it on.
That's not cutting it.
Yeah,
cutting it.
Make sure you
I
flip
got
it up.
nothing. I got nothing.
I can cut the whole switch off.
That was the...
Hit him again.
Opposed to do such a serious episode. I'm about to mute his mic. That was some. Oh my God.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
Joel, I'm sorry.
Okay. Seriously though, do you think politicians are more businessmen than public servants now? Because personally, when I elect someone, I elect a public servant. I elect someone who's like, I'm going to be a servant for you, my district, my country, my state, whatever. But the more and more I see what happens, the more and more I feel like they really just want the position so people come to them to make deals.
That's all. It's all about money now.
So do you feel bamboozled?
I do feel bamboozled every time.
Bamboozled.
I feel very bamboozled.
Yeah.
Said, do you feel bamboozled? I heard that word.
That's a great word.
I can say that I feel like most politicians, when they come into office, are already businessmen or women. They typically have had some type of success as a lawyer or some type of entrepreneur or something like that. So they have the funding to run a campaign and have the mindset, because you do have to have a certain business sense to run a campaign, because it takes a lot of money. You got to buy signs and advertisement and all this kind of stuff, which Maurice hates. But so I think it's kind of hard to get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to you with a business
do
deal and you're like, that don't really have anything to do with what I'm here for, but I may not be here forever.
And I'm going to play devil advocate for this, where I see people saying, well, you want people who have been successful in business and in government because you know they can manage it. But you bring all that extra baggage, like you just mentioned,
Right.
to the situation.
Right.
I think they
it's
start
tricky.
out good. Yeah, they start
Some
out.
do. Some
They start
do.
out being public servants, you know, for the people. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. But then when they get in there, they're like, "Whoa,
No,
this is
I got
not-
to- I
this
gotta
ain't
keep the
going as
money.
according to plan."
I think it's a scam, bro. I think
They have
it's
to
a
keep the
scam
money
from
coming.
beginning.
Hey, they got to do it somehow.
Well, I mean, why do you think it's a scam, Mike?
Oh, I mean, he said they get in there and he said he think when they get in there they're for you, and then I guess after they get in there you get what, brainwashed.
Yeah, you get. Yeah,
I
you
think-
start,
I
you
think-
start
I think
learning
it's
the
all-
inner workings on how things work and business
I think
work.
it's all part of the plan for you for you to
it
get in
happen,
there,
right?
and then once you're in there, then it's all game. Like,
Now you can
do
build-
whatever you
now
wanna
can
do.
Will and deal.
I could see it two ways. I can see like Michael's point of view where it's like, yo, I'm working to get into the office to be able to
Make
gain
change.
new business options. I can see that. But then I also see there are probably some who feel like, yeah, I could make a difference.
Right.
I'm going to run for office for whatever. And then once they get in there, they start seeing all this red tape. They start seeing that people won't listen to them. They start making deals, or they start hearing from other businesses, whatever, saying, hey,
Right.
we can help you get what you want, but you got to do this for us in exchange. I can see that, but at the same time, there's a lot of politicians that as soon as they get out of office, they become lobbyists, and they make a ton more money.
They still
after
keep those
that.
relationships going.
I
though.
think,
They'll-
strategy, bro.
I guess I think another thing that that I notice is that your senior leadership is going to play a big role in how you do business as a new person to government.
Yeah,
They're not going to allow you to do certain things.
absolutely not.
You're going to come in there and they're going to be like, look, this is how we do stuff. I know you got a lot of great ideas. That's cool. But you don't say nothing on this floor without running it through us. So in some ways, it's kind of like they're muffled in a certain way. Some of them are like, screw that, I'm going to say what I got to say anyway. And they typically end up getting blackballed, and they don't last very long.
I think that was the case before social media.
So
It was.
It now, obviously, because of the situation that we're in with, I can't remember how you say her name, but there's a couple congresswomen. They do exactly what Trump does. They just go straight to the people on Twitter,
Yeah.
So they don't
the
need-
one lady got in trouble for saying something that they thought
and
was.
they say it's anti-Semitic, and I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but
well, so wait.
That's
Does-
exhausting
I've
to
seen
me.
that.
Does the system work?
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
think
it's
it
not
works?
perfect.
It
can't be
it does
perfect.
work. I mean,
Because you have what Joe basically said is you still have the good old boy system, right? And what I'm saying is senior leadership, right?
Yeah.
That are used to doing it.
because good old boy and leadership is two different things.
Well, that are used to doing it a certain way, right? So, and as you said, so just say is me, TJ, and Mike, right? And then you, Ty, and Joe are the senior leadership, right? So us three are gonna come in with 2019 ideas, like this is, but you three are the elders, and you're still in the 80s. You've been there for so long, and this is how it has been working. And then we come in with change, and then you basically say, sit down and shut up, kids, or whatever, because like you just said, that sounds great, but that's not the way we do it. So does the system work?
Yes, because what you hoped you have in the Joel and myself and Tyrone is that we are going to take your ideas and apply them to what works now.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
Keyword hope. Keyword hope.
They'll
It's
try
the
it.
same thing. If
They'll
you
try
guys had the majority as the 2019 new idealistic thing, and we were the senior leadership, but we were the majority, or the minority. At some point, you're gonna find when you go to the next level and say, "Yeah, okay, we're just gonna put this up there." There's gonna be a roadblock.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to come back to me and say, how do we get by this?
So-
and I'm going to say to you, if you would have just listened to me in the first place, and let's do this in chunks, and that's what you want. That's how the system works.
And to his
It doesn't
defense,
always work like that, though.
The reason why it works because remember now, it's turn based. They're gonna be out. We're gonna be up. And so the ideas that we had coming in, we can infiltrate those ideas now on the floor and have people back us up on these ideas.
Right.
So it comes, but it comes slow.
I think
it
it's
works.
more like when you come in, you are an outsider looking in. You say, I understand how the system works, but you don't really understand all the politics that's happening between all the different representatives or lawmakers. And so you have to look to your senior leadership and say, this is my idea. I know it can work within the system, or I believe it can work within the system. How can we implement this? And they're going to say, okay, you need to be able to do this, this, and this, and you're going to need support from this person, this person, this person to be able to gain their following and support.
But ultimately, you have to do. Ultimately, you basically have to sell out on some of your dreams in order to make. So if you got 10, if you have 10 questions that are being posed or issues that you want put on the floor, right? 5 of those issues you're gonna have to say, well, I'll put these on the back burner so these can go through.
Well, that's how
That's
it
not
works.
selling.
That's how it works, bro.
That's not selling out. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just how it works.
Well, I mean, it's selling out to the. Wait, hold on.
No.
It's
You're not
wait,
selling out.
it's
You're not
selling out to the.
That's why you
it's-
have. That's why you have the amount of time you have, because you're not going to get every question, every bill on the floor. So you think about this. There's 200 members, you know, and if everybody got 10 ideas, that's 2,000 things. They got what is it? 7 months?
No,
6 months?
4.
4 months to try to get all that stuff proposed and redone and blah 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 and all this kind of
But-
stuff.
but when you
to
make
go through all that-
promises-
hold on. When you go through all that red tape, you're not gonna get 20,000 ideas on the floor.
I get that, but
So you have to make a decision as a young lobbyist or a young senator or whatever. What is the most important thing? If your 10 list, one's gonna be at the top.
to you or the people.
One's gonna be at the top. To you representing the people, so it's gonna be to you. Which one are you getting the most phone calls and emails about? Whether it be you know, sidewalks. If you're getting the most calls about sidewalks, that's what you got to put at the priority. The other thing might be, you know, free trash pickup for the elderly, but you're not getting as much push on that. So you're gonna have to take this thing and try to get it. So once you get something in there and you figure out how to get that thing through, that's gonna help you get the next thing through. So you're really not giving up on your dream. You're just following the protocol because you have to learn it. Because you're not gonna walk in there and be like, hey, my bill's on the floor now. This is the only thing we're gonna work on.
Yeah. Well, not like that, every bill is going to have something attached to it, because when they submit the headline bill, I guess you could say, the one that everyone's going to be really voting on, every politician attaches something to it,
Right.
which I think is the biggest load. But
Does it always work like that?
Gotta get mine.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind
the
of
one you get most calls for.
not
No.
always.
So what if somebody come in there and say you not get most calls for this? Somebody come in there and hand you a big wad of money.
That's what
I want you to put that.
Well,
on
then
top
you
of
know
that.
what? It becomes
sure they
very
do that.
high priority.
It doesn't work like that, Mike. Because
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
It's a process that they must go through. They got to vote on this bill too. So if you the head guy, you got to
I
persuade your
think they
other
go, it
congressmen.
does work like that.
No,
you gotta-
not,
you
not
still
what
have
he
to
said.
say,
You gotta, if you line, if this bill over here, this bill over here, and I got X amount of dollars where I can pay this person and sway my way for this bill, then I'm
But
gonna
hold
pay
up,
this
though.
person.
But yeah.
But hold up though.
It
So,
depends. It's not the public vote ones, though.
so
Not the public vote ones.
Reese's sidewalk bill is up, right? We've all talked
That's
about
a
it.
public vote.
Yeah, we've all
okay.
talked about his
Different
sidewalk
things.
bill. And then somebody comes to you and say, hey man, you know, I run this concrete company. I really want this thing to go through. Here's a little extra money for you. That's just you.
Right.
They ain't gave us no money.
Yeah.
And so
All you're going to be able to do is really market the hell out.
Yeah.
it's try to say how good it's going to be for the community and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You're going to really start pushing it harder.
Yeah.
We
That's all
still
we doing.
we still could
That's
say,
just one. I got
you
money.
still got-
I got
I
money
still
so
could-
I can this guy, that guy, that
No,
guy,
no,
that guy.
no.
but you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that.
So why can't?
Because I might take offense to it.
How can you say he can't?
Because I might take offense to it. He got to take that chance.
But here's the thing.
Right.
I think it's
But-
more
You gotta
often.
take that chance.
I think it's more often.
How many people gonna turn down money?
I don't want that $1,000.
Right. I'm just saying. I mean,
I think it's more common when, like, say a lobbyist goes to a politician. It's not just saying, "Hey, throw your support behind this," but it's also like, "Kill a bill." You know, you
And they do
need
that,
to
that's what I'm
stop
saying.
this bill from
They do
going
that
through.
too.
Absolutely, they will. I mean, they kill a lot of bills,
Right.
or they stall them. Because at some point, what they
Yeah.
do is just say,
Just hold 'em
"We
up."
don't want this to pass. We don't just want to even come up to a vote. Just make sure it's not on the docket."
That's where filibustering come in.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a
Okay.
lot of ways you can
Okay.
manipulate the system. And again, I'm not always sure if all of it is for the benefit of the people or the benefit of the few who line the pockets. And that's where my question is coming in.
I think it's a little bit of both.
It probably is.
I think you have a 60-40 mix of it's going to be business based. They're going to keep the people in mind because some of the people also are the
benefit from
people
it.
that back their campaign, and they went and had
Like
meetings
super
with these
PACs
guys
and stuff.
where they're writing them a check for $20,000 for a campaign. Like, hey, this thing that's coming up here, this is going to be bad for me, so I don't want it.
Right.
I mean, a good example.
I can see that.
A good example of that is like people will talk when we're talking about the economy. I've listened to some more stuff about that, and people are basically like, "Well, it's good for me.
Yeah, so they always start
It's
off
good
with
for me right now. I don't care what that guy's doing. It's good for me right now. And if he does X, Y, Z, it's going to be even better for me. So I don't care what he does.
Right.
And that's what it boils down
You
to.
can literally get away with murder if it's like, if he killed someone that helped me, that what he did helped me.
Helped me out.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Ah, man, I can't
see
stand
nothing.
that.
And it's terrible, but that's just the reality of it. And I mean, and to a certain extent, Reese, you're right. I mean, is it for the people or is it for the person? I think it's 60-40.
I think it's 55-45. because you got to show it on paper.
Right.
You got to show it on paper.
Yeah, there's gonna be a paper trail.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying
And-
it's closer than what you think.
Right.
And we recently passed a bill here about campaign funds. So
Yeah, that was good, Bill, though.
that
Cap.
that's going all the way down to the bottom because I used to do some business with the Capitol that they don't do anymore because they can't. The lobbyists can't buy stuff for them,
Yep.
and I lost that business. They ain't feed my economy.
Well, that'll affect, between Mike and I mean, that affects our business, too. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it can affect us negative and
Positively.
positively
Yeah.
because the business we're in, there's a lot of different, different interest
Right.
groups that are always trying to sway votes.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot of different ways that can affect us.
It does, man. It turns into a tricky little web.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
I got a second question I can follow up with this. I don't know
Go
if
ahead.
you want to do that or not. Okay, so again, another observation. You and I just talked about this when I was watching all these testimonies before Congress, like with Michael Cohen, and I've watched a lot of them, and most of them. At the time, it's really just people just making long speeches, defending whoever.
And I think this and blah blah blah. I watched the whole
Exactly.
thing
It's-
almost.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
almost
did
did.
too.
It became kind of redundant
Yeah, it
after a
was.
point.
He told everything.
But whenever they would come up there and make a big speech, and they'd be a Democrat or they'd be a Republican, they'd be like saying, "The American people who I serve they care about the truth," or "The American people that I serve know that you're a liar." And what they do is they generalize their base as all of America, even though they know not all of America agrees with them.
Right.
And I think that's a toxic way to be thinking about it, because then people who support them or maybe agree with their ideologies, then they start thinking everyone's behind us except for this small group over here, which we have to deal with. And it's on both sides. Both sides think like this. And I think that's dangerous because, one, it pits regular Americans against regular Americans in a fight they have no skin in.
Nope, nothing.
And I hate that they're picking up the fight of these politicians, this Pepsi versus Cola basically thing.
That is a good analogy.
That they really
the Coke.
can't win anything in. We just need these people to be public servants. We don't need to fight their battles. They need to be fighting for us.
And the
they're
thing about
not.
it is, it's like I watched a lot of that trial, and they were talking a lot about, you know, one side wanted to know what he knew, the other side wanted to prove that he was a liar. And
Well, one side wanted to use him to.
Combat facts.
Well,
like a fact check.
they really wanted him to incriminate the president. The other one wanted to basically make him a liar, saying
Yeah.
you can't trust anything he said. So both of them had agendas. Neither one of them cared about the truth.
so,
Right.
and that's what I think. From what I watched, it seemed like there was a few people that actually asked legitimate questions, like, you know, what
Maybe
do you know
two or
about
three.
this? What do you know about that? And when it was like their time, they're like, "You were just here, but you're going to prison because you're a liar," and
Right.
all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, okay, we all know that.
Yeah.
That's why you're there.
That's a moot point. Do you think the guy's really going to come to Congress and lie again? He knows.
He got caught for it.
He knows, and they're like, well, are you going to get some type of sentence off this?
Heck
So
no.
you don't think he's going to try to do something, try to reduce his sentence? I mean, that's like
Or make a book or make a movie.
that's like redundant.
Right,
and it's
book
like
lies in prison.
those questions are irrelevant. To me, they would have been better served to try to come with some facts to say this contradicts what you told us.
Honestly,
And they never did that. They never did it. It's
Yeah.
like this contradicts what you said, or this contradicts. And one thing that really burned me
yeah.
out of the whole 2 sessions I watched the whole thing, just about. I was watching on my phone. I had it on. I was listening to it, the whole thing. And at one point he was talking about how he had more knowledge of who this person was
Scared
because he was around him
all the time.
for 10 years.
Yeah.
Off camera, eating burnt steaks with ketchup. You know, he knows more about this guy.
Right.
And then somebody get there and say, I had several meetings with him, and
I know
I
what
know
you're about to
he's
say.
not like that. It's like, come on, dude.
He killed them.
I'm gonna tell all the people out there right
Surface.
now, what y'all see here is just a glimpse of what we are really like
Yeah.
when we're away from each other.
We
We're not
actually
gonna-
get burnt steaks with ketchup.
you're not gonna get to know somebody in a short meeting, and everybody has your game face on because
Yeah.
I'm
Instagram clip.
I'm in character right now. I gotta do my thing. So to me, that was so hypocritical to say that you know him better than a guy who's been with him behind closed doors and in a more relaxed setting.
And he told him. He said, "Look, you know him for a moment. I've been knowing him for a decade."
I think
Right.
it's so funny though that like they know he's the fixer. Everyone knows he's the fixer. And everyone's like, I can't trust you about what you say about this guy. He's like, I was a fixer for 10 years.
And then
I did.
the other point
called
behind that
me.
is like they're like, well, why would you keep working for him, and why this and why that? I'm like, he's a celebrity for one. I mean, he's like
paying him well.
in the spotlight.
Wait.
And number two, it's like if I need my house painted, I'm not gonna go hire an auto mechanic. I'm gonna hire a painter. So I mean, that's why he worked for him for so long, because he knew how to do it. They're like, well, you did this and you doctored that. Yeah, I'm good at it.
Yeah.
You know, up until now, I just got caught, but I was pretty good at it for a long time. That's why I was working for him as long as I did.
What most people don't know that in the criminal justice system, we use criminals to catch criminals.
Dang right.
We use liars to catch liars. That's why the word snitch is so important on the street. This is what we do. We take a person, flip them, and to snitch on another person. We take a bad guy who's flipped on another bad guy.
Right.
That's what you do.
Won't know what happened unless you
I
get
don't
told
want
on.
to make it out like, everyone knows exactly what the president's done and the president's guilty of all that stuff.
That's fake
Honestly,
news.
I think we shouldn't pass judgment at all on anyone until we have all the facts. And honestly, we won't have all the facts until Mueller puts his stuff out there. But at the same time, the problem I had with that whole thing, again, was nobody cared about the truth. everybody cared more about using him to push a different agenda.
Right.
And again, back to the source of the question is, our politicians act like the people who elected them are the entirety of America. They refuse to believe that the support of their opponents has legitimate concerns.
Right.
They never talk about it. They never literally go across the aisle and say,
Don't reach out.
this is what my base thinks, what's going on with your base, whatever.
They don't talk to each other.
What part of America do you feel like you are, Reese?
Missouri.
Disenfranchised.
Disenfranchised. I mean, elaborate.
I say disenfranchised just because I feel like America doesn't speak for everyone. I feel like America.
Well, not in America. We're talking about like these politicians. So if the representative from Missouri, do you feel like he's accurately representing how you feel?
No, not at all.
Hell no.
No. I mean,
representing Alaska.
I think he represents, and y'all probably gonna disagree, but I think he represents who fills his pockets, and the people, because what I'm saying, and because what I'm, thank you. Money talks, BS walks. So I can,
What
I
BS
can,
stand for?
so I can
shoes.
tell you, yeah.
Big shoes.
Yeah.
I can make all these promises during the race, right? And we discussed this. I can't. There's no way that I'm be able to fulfill all these promises. Well, don't make the damn promises. If you can't, I get it. Don't make the promises if you can't fulfill. I voted for you for a reason, because I thought that you were the right candidate. I thought that you were the right candidate to push the needs that you said drew you in. that put you in office. But now that you're in office, you flipped the whole script. You did a 360 and you going this other way instead of the straight path, the straight narrow path that you said you were going to go on.
Who we talking about?
We talking about the mayor, not the mayor, but the rep from Missouri.
But
Which one?
But like I said, that's
There's a lot of them.
But like I said though, when we were talking about that same thing, you have to realize that just because promises are made, you got a lot of other people to go through. So you can't just say that. Well, don't make the promises if you don't. Well, I'm sure that the drive might be there. Not all of them. Some of them just say stuff to be saying it. You know, some people align themselves with certain things because they know that's what it's going to get. And I'm going to tell you right now, somebody in Missouri aligned themselves with a certain thing because that's the way Missouri voted. That's why he aligned himself that way.
And just say the president, for example, right? It shows you how divided this country really is, because there's no way in hell that this president, I know it, that there's no way in hell that this president should have got in office for being the, I'm just gonna say, the idiot that he is, right? And I know that's gonna piss a lot of people off, but it is what it is. It's my opinion. You can't tell me how to feel. So it is what it is. So come on with the comments. But
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
but
Play devil's advocate.
But so this country was already divided. People were, I say, undercover racists, right? So now he gives all these people the power to say what they really feel, and I want to know what you really feel anyway. So because I don't want to be.
Don't bother me. I'd rather know.
Yeah, I want to know, because I don't want you smiling at my face and stab me in the back, which that's gonna happen anyway. But how ridiculous can you be? How ridiculous can you be to elect? And I'm just gonna say a blatant racist, because I mean, and he's done this on so many fronts, whether it be border control, or whether it be black folks, or whether it be get this guy out of here, somebody beat this guy's butt because he disagrees with what I'm saying. Now I'll let y'all go from there.
right, I'll play devil.
I don't think.
Is there
I don't
anywhere to
think
go
he-
from
Drop the
that?
mic.
I don't think he's racist. I think he's about money. I think whoever put money in his pocket.
Well, black people put money in his pocket too.
But if you ain't coming, if you ain't got the big dollars,
If you're like
Right.
2% of his income,
Right.
and then he's gonna listen to like say a base group that's like 60%.
that's how I think Trump
But
is
I-
doing it, bro.
I will say that. I mean, I'm not gonna touch on the racist part because a lot of people will defend that in different ways. But Trump, what he did do though, as much as he supported Democrats when he was a citizen, and he supported many politicians that way, he went to the Republican Party because he saw something that other people did. And now, honestly, what that was is he saw a demographic that people were ignoring that was
Saw a
huge.
divide, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, people focus on the cities, and they
'Cause he
don't
was
really
a
focus
Democrat
on the Midwest. And
a
this
long
is
time.
this was a big thing with polling, as they were polling cities. They figured we can get way more answers on our polls if we go to highly populated areas. So all the polls were saying Hillary was going to win by a landslide. What they didn't do is they didn't poll any of the people in the country, which is a huge amount of America.
It's where the
And
biggest
he
electoral
said-
votes were.
Exactly. He went to those people, campaigned in those areas heavily, and said everything they wanted to hear.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
He told you what he was going to do in 1980 something. He said
He's
if
been
I,
thinking
and
about
he
it
said
for a
on
while.
Fox News. He said if I ever ran for president, I would run under the Republican ticket, and I
Then
would win.
He supported
And he won.
Democrats
no,
for
he-
decades.
Yeah, he was always a Democrat.
He
Coming out,
said, he
everybody
said
knew
more.
he knew.
He said more after that statement you just said.
Nah, he did. I didn't want to go into it, but yeah, he said more.
he did.
He did.
So
He did.
Again, he's a
But he won.
And
He
like
told
I said,
you.
I think
he won.
That exact way. That's crazy.
I think it's a lot of what all you said
Yeah.
is the money. Whether he is truly a racist or not doesn't matter, because if he can play to that demographic,
Oh, he did. He gonna do it.
And that's
if he
the
can play
thing.
to that demographic, I mean, yeah, sure, why not? You know, because it's
gonna
gonna get you,
win.
it's gonna get you votes.
It's an old political trick to get the people to get the, and I say disenfranchised again because a lot of, like you said, city country, right? So and those people feel like, okay, well, I'm a part of this country as much as the city folks are, and they don't look at us the same way. So we're gonna vote, and I'm gonna say idiot. We're gonna vote this idiot into office, or
Well, I mean, you can call him an idiot, but he did something smart.
he did.
That was the
role.
one thing that he did that was smart, was he went and played to a part of the country that he knew was suffering.
And
Coal towns,
Yeah. And I'm gonna say
old farm towns,
steel mills, stuff
steel mills, all these.
businesses
But
he
that's not
can't
gonna bring
honestly
America
save.
back.
He can't save
No.
those jobs.
Huh?
He really
No.
can't. But
No.
I just want to go ahead and say, even if, like, say, if you're watching this, even if you voted for the president and you're like, oh my gosh, these people are just bashing on the president.
No.
People feel like when you attack who I voted for, my decision, my choice, you're attacking me at the same time. No. We don't. Not everyone can agree with every politician. Not everyone can agree with every president or whatever. That's not a. We don't judge you guys, everyone else on that. You know, because we honestly, I would feel that you were tricked as well. Basically,
I feel like they were
said
duped.
things like, if you work in the coal industry, the steel industry, or some other industry that, you know, it feels like it's part of an old industry that's going to go the wayside. I mean, I honestly believe renewable energy will take over. They're already saying with
I mean, the guy
cost
that
per
the
cents
guy
and
that
everything.
ran those coal companies, he was like, those jobs ain't coming back.
Exactly.
He got on TV and said that. I mean, he
There's
told
no way
him
they're
that.
going to come back. But at the same time, he said everything you wanted. It's like you can use the skill set. You can stay where you live. You don't have to go back to school. I'm going to make you rich again, basically. I'm going to give you a ton of money. I'm going to support your lifestyle without you having to do anything except for say yes to me.
And ain't did
And,
shit.
and like I said, the
Sorry.
the majority of the country was not ready to see a woman run the country.
Yeah.
That's just
Honestly, though,
that's
you should have had a woman.
tell
who
you.
That's a
ran
long-
with
Let's
less
go deeper
baggage.
than that. They had,
that's the long and short of it. I don't care if she had zero baggage, they were not
Nah,
ready.
let's go deeper
Well,
than that.
that-
They
I
were
think-
not ready.
I
I think
think
the
they had
American
a
people-
they had a black president that was a black president, never heard of. I feel that they wanted to go the opposite way
They-
They
and
always go the opposite way.
put a white president in there that was racist.
Not
That
even-
ran on the
I
ticket of
can't-
racist.
I can't-
That's how
He
I
didn't
thought.
run on the ticket of races.
Not-
Like,
I mean-
he ran
I mean,
on
he-
the ticket. He
He touched
when he
separate
was in
things.
office,
Separate.
He touched on the things that were closest to people's
Heart. Yeah.
heart.
That's what it was.
Because they
And that's
were.
how he got. That's
and
how he
it
won.
wasn't. It wasn't really a. I don't even want to call it a race thing. It was.
It wasn't
was a
race.
job.
It
It
was-
was a job thing.
it was a
It was a
job thing.
divide.
It was
a
like.
divide.
It was like. Look at how they take care of people in California. And look
Right.
how they're taking care of you. Look at how they take care of people in New York, and look how they take care of you.
Look how these big companies are sending your job over.
all
Exactly.
overseas. Right.
Look at. But
But it was
this
he
stuff.
just focused
And
on the
look who-
divide.
And look who's getting the jobs.
Right.
They're not you.
And,
Right.
and honestly,
The divide.
he's not wrong about everything.
No.
I mean,
No.
China has
I didn't say
very
he was.
bad business
No, I
practices.
never said he was.
I don't exactly agree with how he's been handling the tariffs. I don't necessarily disagree with everything he's done on that. I mean, I'm not saying everything he's done is bad because honestly, I don't believe everything he's done is his idea.
No.
He's got advisors and stuff like that.
That's
What
Putin.
do you think about the wall?
I think the wall personally it's a temporary solution for a long-standing problem that it'll cause the taxpayers more money. It's going to cost them a lot of money to build it, and then he's not really being upfront about how much maintenance it's going to be to keep that wall.
Did you see the last his last two people that actually worked for him? They came on and they said the wall is cool and all, but that's not the problem we have. We can't accommodate the type of people that are coming here. We're set up to receive males that are, sneaking over here or whatever, but these are families,
Yeah.
like women and children.
These are literally people
and they're
fleeing.
not equipped to handle it. And yeah, it sounds like an invasion, but they're like, these people ain't coming here to do bad. They're trying to escape stuff, but we can't handle it.
Yeah.
They're showing up in 900, 300, 600 groups
Yeah.
of these people, and 98% of them are women and children. There's not even males in the group unless they're little.
Yeah. I just
So-
think it's
So they don't have a way to accommodate them. And they're like, they went to Congress voluntarily and said, we need some help.
yeah.
They
I
gave
just-
them tents.
I just think it's the worst. Not to take anything from what you said, but I just want to double down on it. If you're supporting the wall, I understand why you're supporting the wall, but it's going to suck on you for the taxes because it's going to cost a lot to build, and it's going to kind of cost even more to maintain.
What they're saying is that's not the
Mexico
need.
ain't paying for it.
That's not the need, because if you have these
I know
people
they're
that
saying they're not, but that's what
If
the
you-
president's pushing.
if the people are coming here and they are seeking asylum, they don't have a way to even address it.
Yeah.
So. But anyway,
It's a thing.
But
It's going to go even longer.
About the wall, I'm gonna throw this in. So just say the wall is 300 miles long, right? If you look at every border around every state, which people are sneaking in, that wall is gonna cover 300 miles of America. It's not gonna cover the
no,
whole.
that's not what he's proposing though.
The ocean.
He's proposing 2,000 miles of wall.
I mean, that was
It's
just
gonna
an
cost
example.
No,
But-
he's saying from California all the way over to the Gulf.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen
Texas.
though? They're going to have a boat. We're going to have a wall. They go.
Right.
Are they going to get on
They're
a,
gonna go
or
out.
are they going to do like everybody else does and get on a plane and just fly?
As I say, most of the illegal immigration is.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They're
But-
from plane.
You know, everyone makes fun of him until a
that's-
zombie apocalypse
somebody gonna
breaks
make
out,
money.
and then it's going to be like, thank God President Trump built that wall.
Oh my God!
Hey, what happened in World War Z?
Exactly. Although then that lady went and started singing a song with the PA system, and that whole thing went to hell.
TJ,
And I don't care what you say.
TJ said I'm out on that. He said
I
I'm
like
out.
that movie.
What he said?
And I-
He said zombie apocalypse.
He is D-micing on that.
He was like, I'm done.
Bro.
dropped the mic.
He dropped the mic on Reese. Hey, Joel, where can they find us? TJ might not be here.
I feel weird, this empty space here. Yeah, find us on YouTube. That's where we post the videos first. And check us out on Facebook. We'll kind of link them there. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates. Tyrone's always doing like live videos on there before recording, sometimes a little bit of recording, which is kind of a cool behind the scenes look, stuff like that. You can see how messy we are when we're all set up. Then we got some giveaways we're working on, so make sure you've liked, subscribed, maybe sure you're watching the episodes because I think we're going to be referencing some things. Yeah. I don't know. But it's coming up soon. It's coming up real soon.
Real soon.
We'll actually have to post all the rules on social media at some point because we're still kind of feeling out how we're going to hand them out.
We're trying to get a lobbyist to do that for us.
Yeah, but we're trying to make sure you're paying attention.
From
That's where
Alaska.
it's coming from.
We're gonna get a free trip to Alaska so you can get a residence and get $1,000.
Oh man,
Hey,
that's not enough to live in.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. That's a lie. Don't believe that.
I'm gonna tell my lobbyist I want
states that will pay you to live there.
Oh, that's bad.
Multiple
I mean,
states.
I'm not going
Alaska's
to Alaska.
beautiful.
Vermont's one of them.
They got lots of salmon
Vermont is nice, bro.
for now.
Smoked salmon.
I'm going to Vermont later this year.
Sounds good.
I'm
All right.
telling everybody in Vermont that I'm coming to Vermont.
Vermont, live show in Vermont. Joe will be there. JQ live. Peace out.
Peace.
I can't believe you just walked off screen.
That's classic, bro.
Classic.